Parliament what it is. Some of us who have been gagged before in the chamber, it is the media that helped us to talk to Kenyans. Having said that, we are here to inform you that the Speaker has made a ruling today on the issue that was the issue about the majority and the minority leadership in the House. And as you are aware, we had yesterday raised in the House the court ruling through Honorable Mili that the court had ruled that the Kenya Kwanza coalition is not the majority party in Parliament. And the court categorically said majority party in Parliament is decided through the sovereign will of the people. It is only in Kenya where majority party and minority party in Parliament is decided through defections. So when you defect from one party to another, you add numbers to the other one, and without consulting the people who elected you. Secondly, the contradictions in the Speaker's rulings, I want to point them out. Initially, in his first ruling that was quashed by the court, he ruled that the 14 members who are in UDM and those other parties, he gave them to Kenya Kwanza, as you remember. Today he has turned around again saying they are not in any party. They are in purgatory. They are held up somewhere. Nobody knows where they belong to. Purgatory, yes. So it just shows you how numbers are being crafted from one side to another, just to make sure that certain group are the majority party in Parliament. The other day he made a ruling that Jubilee Party is not part of Azimio. Today he has made a ruling that Azimio is Jubilee is part of Azimio. He has confirmed. And we have been telling him Jubilee has not left Azimio. Today he has confirmed again Jubilee is part of Azimio. Thirdly, this is another ruling that will be taken to court for quashing. Because it has all the contradictions of the Constitution. It is even worse than the one that was quashed. This one. Parliament is not court of appeal. Parliament is Parliament. We can only debate. You cannot do an appellate business in Parliament. It can only be done by a 5-bench consisting 5 judges, a bench of 5 judges in the Court of Appeal. Parliament has turned itself now into a Court of Appeal where they can overthrow judgments of judges from the High Court. That has never happened anywhere in the Republic. Parliament is not immune to interpretations in the Constitution. There are many bills, many acts of Parliament we have passed that have been quashed by constitutional courts in Kenya and nullified. The security laws, the Cybercrime Act, many acts. They are telling us here now that the Speaker's ruling is not subject to any court. Which Parliament is that? So in many acts of Parliament we disagree completely with the ruling of the Speaker today. In Kenya, Azimio is the majority party. The security laws that was achieved through sovereign will of the people. They are telling us now that 8th of August, the Speaker's ruling is not subject to any court. It shall remain so. Which we are still in 2022. We are not in 2025 as. So we are stuck there. Where the numbers were. Parliament we disagree completely with the. So I want to ask the Speaker, if he wants Azimio is the multi-party parliament, a parliament that was achieved through the standing orders of the people, a parliament that will deliver for the Kenyan people, let him run parliament to any court through the constitution and the standing orders. Still in 2022, we are not in 2025. One day he says this, the next day he's saying this. He told us in his previous ruling that those 14 members are in Kenya Kwanza. Today he's saying they are not in any party. Then they are saying the deputy speaker wrote a letter to the registrar of political parties. Who has given her the mandate to write to the registrar to ask for? And these documents that they are saying the registrar has written to them, they should take them to court, not to Parliament. Go and tell the judges that there is new evidence we have found that the registrar is saying these people are not members of any party. You don't bring it to Parliament. Parliament is not a court. They're saying we are judicial, quasi-judicial sitting. Where? How? But let me tell you something. It is going to be messy, it is going to be noisy, and it's going to have casualties. I promise you. It is going to have casualties, I can promise you.
We know the first casualty.
Yeah, and we can see it is getting smelly. Already. From the way Parliament is being handled, it is getting smelly.
Yes. Mwango can see it also.
We don't feel any broad-based arrangement in Parliament. There is nothing. Broad-based is in the executive only. Parliament has no broad-based mechanism. We are not there. So, my fellow, with the permission of my fellow colleagues, I have told you, going forward is not going to be business as usual.
Correct.
And we have withdrawn our members from the House Business Committee.
Yes. Yes.
I am sure they have just said, as many of that opinion, we will de-whip them if they put them there. Yes. They will have their own House Business Committee, their own.
Yes, which we will also challenge.
Which will also challenge in court, in public, in private, everywhere. So please, let us respect the law. Let us respect the Constitution. Let us respect the standing orders. Let us operate within the Constitution. Otherwise, we fear nobody, we owe nobody, and we stay at our homes. We don't stay in anybody's home, yes, and we don't live in anybody's house. That is my message for today. Correct. Thank you. Porridge. Hot porridge. Hot porridge.
Good evening, members of the press. I just want to join my majority leader.
Yes.
In also really condemning the status that the media has been put in. You cannot have news happening afterwards, especially in a digitized era. What if anything happens in Parliament and you are not there?
What happened?
What is the source of information? Media must be inside Parliament. You have to know what goes on inside Parliament.
Yeah.
That is part of democracy.
Unless it is North Korea Parliament.
Yeah. That is part of democracy. And with an opening of space, democratic space, we cannot be going backwards as a country. So we will guard that very, very passionately about media freedom. And media freedom is not just about you sitting here in a corner. It's about you being able to access news where news is happening. So can you imagine if we come here and we start narrating to you that you know there was somebody dancing outside? Is that, what news is that? Or there was somebody spitting, is that news? You have to see it yourself, because otherwise people will mislead you. Or somebody was walking naked. You have to see it for yourself to give objective, fair and accurate information to the public. But having said that, I just in adherence to the concept of separation of powers, I want to disagree very strongly with the Speaker when